It's a new take on ideas we've seen before, maybe even a totally different understanding. I have the word. Baltani uses the example of Shvir Sekalim. He used the word Baruch. And he says that when all the letters are together, so then you have the word Baruch, but when you separate them, then you have a base Reish Vav Chof. So when you hear the word Baruch, it has a meaning. It means blessed, it means to draw, it means whatever it means. But the way when you hear the word Baruch, you don't see it as 4 separate letters and go through. So when you hear the word Baruch, you're like, oh, there's a base, and there's a Reish, and there's a... You don't break it down into its component parts. You just hear the word Baruch, and you're on. So it could be any word: happy, bang, joy, sadness, depression, trauma. Those words all have a meaning, but when you're interacting with the words, you don't break them down into their component parts. When they're together, they have a meaning, and you understand, you seichel, you teichen, you understand just what the meaning is. Now, that meaning is the or in the kelim. So the kelim are really bottled to the or, because it's as if there aren't any kelim there. If I say beit, the letter beit, now all there is a letter beit, and letter beit has no meaning, it conveys no message. It's just the letter by itself. So when that word is together, so therefore you have the unity. That's the unity of God, the unity of the world, everything's one. Even though each letter has its own identity. And if all the letters were the same, so the word would not be Baruch, the word would be B. Every letter has its own place and it gives to the word, but there's no individuality in the word. There's no letter that's higher than the other letter. When it comes together, the or's in the kelim, the keli are bottled to the or, and there's all there is the oneness of the word in which they're producing. So that's the world of Atzilus, the world of Achdus, the world of Echod, which is where Shavirus Kelim was the whole point in order to get to the Hester Ponim, and the point of the Hester Ponim is to reject the Hester Ponim. Now you first have to, again, ideas we said before, you first have to become the Yesh, the separate from God, to be able to say, I hate you, God, therefore when you say I love you has meaning. So to be able to have that choice, to be able to have that separateness from God in order to have a relationship with God, so that has to come through the Yeshus and the Nifrad and the not feeling of the Echod, because if you felt like Echod, therefore you would never be able to actually have a relationship with God, because you would just be part of the Word, be part of Baruch, and therefore you can't relate to, your relationship has to be with somebody else. So the Shavirus Kelim created the Hester. So when you have the word Baruch, everything is Echot. The Shavirus Kelim, now the base goes by itself. So now the base is by itself. So the base has 2 options. One is, I'm lost, I need to find my Reish. Or it says, this is wonderful, I am myself, I am a base, everything is, this is the best thing that's ever happened. So the Shavirus Kelim creates the Hester, which allows the world to exist, but then you have the Kelim without the or, where the base is just on its own, and that base on its own is the Kli without the or. It has very little meaning, and now you can move from there and live the life. So that's the point. The point of the Shavirus Kelim is to bring. You can't have you can't just stay in that world, the or, because otherwise you'll never develop that relationship with God. Therefore comes the Shviras Kelim, the Baruch, as a word that transcends its individual letters. That doesn't exist anymore, and then you break it into all the different letters. And yeah, I mean, there's a parallel in when it says that the Jews left Mount Sinai Mahar Sinai, is in Mahir, they came quickly. Rashi says, like children who left their lessons in the classroom. And in Pashpashat and Rashi is that they just ran away from the classroom because all kids hate class. All kids hate teaching, but some don't, and it's a ridiculous marshal to say that this is the way of the world. Kids hate school. Well, it doesn't mean that. It means that the children, when they learn the letters, they learn how to read through the individual letters by breaking the kelim. That's how they learn. Aleph, Kom, Tzah. That's how one of my kids is learning. It didn't work for him, but that's what they say in classrooms. So when you break it down, you bring the Aleph, Kom, and Tzah. That's complete world of Shviras Kelim. So that the children in the classroom, they're not living. They don't want to live in the world of Achtos. They don't want to live in the world of the words and the letters being one, but that each letter by itself is a chashivas, which is the Shviras Kelim, which is the loneliness of existence, of abuse, of trauma, of life, that the goal is to move back to the Achdus with Hashem.